All right, what's going on, man? We got a market recap today for Wednesday, July 1st. First day of July. Um, as you can see, no trades for me. Technically, break even. We'll go over what that was, but really no trades for me this morning. And it was a pretty clear bias in my opinion. To be long biased, we'll just go over the market recap or the market updates channel. My daily bias this morning, I said very clear external bullish bias right now. I want to see the 4-hour gap hold, and conditions are as drawn out. Yesterday, we got this massive pump. Basically, we just broke structure to the upside, ran through a daily bearish imbalance. So that tells me we want to be bullish and continue towards these relative equal highs and all-time highs as the external draws. We were then pulling back to a 4-hour imbalance, and I expect this 4-hour imbalance to hold and for price to hold bullish and continue higher from here. And this is what the internal structure looked like upon market open. It looks pretty good to potentially get a displacement candle off open above this internal high, running through these bearish imbalances. If we had gotten that, I would have had max confidence in slapping on a long to this 4-hour buy side liquidity. Unfortunately, that move never happened. You can see the market opens here on this dashed line, and we kind of push up here, and the initial move is down. We then push up here, and this fails here, and really today was just consolidation, not a big move whatsoever. And you can see I was looking for us to continue out of this area in price, show me that we want to displace higher, and continue higher. I was waiting for that. We never got it, and we ended up just fading down here. Now the reason I think this is because if we zoom out for a second, there is, well, I have it marked out already, but you can see there's a daily gap and a daily imbalance below us. So coming to the daily chart, you can see we ran through this bearish imbalance yesterday. That lets me know, hey, the bias is flipped bullish, and I want to see a continuation higher as of right now. There is a small daily imbalance down here, which is what we're probably going to go towards if I had to guess. In all reality, I expected this 4-hour gap to hold price. It hasn't. We've started to continue lower. So there is this swing low here and this daily gap. If I had to guess, that's the next stop for the market. But yeah, it was a pretty simple, easy, bullish bias. Never ended up playing out. The only potential trade was on ES. However, the high time frame structure wasn't as clean and as clear as in Q. Pretty similar situation. It's just there wasn't really, like, this was the 4-hour gap that we were holding. You can see how small it is compared relative to the one on NQ. NQ high time frame wise was just a lot cleaner, but ES was the one that actually moved this morning. You can see the 15-minute time frame. If this was the 50-minute chart on NQ, I would have slapped on along with max confidence. This was the only trade of the day that you could have potentially taken. However, I stayed out of it. This was 15-minute displacement, market structure shift, rebalance to a 15-minute fair value gap, and that fair value gap holds and delivers price higher to that 4-hour buy side liquidity. But I didn't take the trade on ES because ES was moving higher, but NQ was not moving at all, and it was having a hard time, and it failed to run through this original 15-minute gap that I need to see it run through in order to be bullish on NQ. I also just don't love taking trades on ES anymore because it just leads to a lot of cope setups. So I more so use ES as a tool for trading NQ because it lets me have a better grasp on what price is actually doing on NQ. So with that being said, I had a limit order here for a second. I decided to take it off because NQ was struggling. And so that was that. That's the only potential like good trade I saw. And then this $21 break even was just me entering off of this 15-minute candle close before we actually ran through the 15-minute imbalance. This is me knowing that I'm on evals, trying to pass these evals relatively quickly, and wanting to get back to the XFA stage. So really just this is rushing the process. And as soon as I placed it, the next candle opens and I'm like, no, let me literally exit at break even. I don't really care if this plays out. Like if this plays out, we're gonna run through this imbalance, which is what I really need to see in order to actually take a max conviction trade. So let me just wait for that to actually happen and not be greedy, not rush the process. And so literally took it off at break even right after I entered, realizing that hey, that entry is just me being greedy and me trying to rush the process of passing these evals. So, and you can see it ended up being to my benefit because what I actually needed to see in order to have confirmation of price going higher to this 4-hour buy side liquidity is us to run through this bearish imbalance and potentially even close above this internal high here. Now we ended up putting it in a new internal high even later on into the market open. It's like this would have been the market structure shift and running through these imbalances, but like none of that ever happened. So I don't have conviction. I don't have the confirmation that I need to say, hey, price is telling me that we're for sure going higher to this buy side liquidity. And because I didn't have that, I wasn't able to actually take a good trade. So if I had to guess, we're coming down here below this swing low that was put in off market open. If we just place past this, I would say it's a high likelihood that we come down to this daily gap and rebalance here, because we have now run through this 4-hour gap. You can see we closed below it. Coming to the hourly time frame, there's nothing else holding price. So there's this swing low and this daily gap. I think that's where NQ is going, and we'll see if we want to hold it and then continue higher from there. If so, that would be a good long opportunity tomorrow. But if not, then we're just back into this range and we'll have to wait and see. So as much as I want to pass these really fast and be back on accounts that can actually be making me money, it will do me no good to take things that I wouldn't be normally taking. It doesn't do me any good whatsoever. All it does is create bad habits, even if those trades do end up playing out. Yes, it's frustrating being on an eval, but I just have to understand, like, it's my fault, right? I was one and done past a set of evals last week and broke my rules, and so I'm back on the stage, and it's because of me. So just being even more greedy and trying to rush the process even more is only going to lead to a bigger snowball in terms of how many attempts it's going to take me. So I'm just realizing that, hey, I'm in this position because of me, so let me do what I can to actually fix it. How am I going to fix it? I'm going to not take any BS, and I'm going to wait and stay patient because it's only a matter of time before I get 2 good trades to execute on and to pass these accounts, right? For all I know, it could happen tomorrow, and then unfortunately Friday is a bank holiday, so these won't be passed this week. But the more you try to force the narrative, the more you're just going to make it harder on yourself. And didn't want to do that today. Almost did it right here, entering before I had enough confirmation. Quickly took it off at break even and decided to be patient. And it ended up playing out to my benefit because it would have been stopped out likely. I mean, I think we're going to this low, so that's where the stop loss was. So anyways, that's the market recap. No trades for me. It's annoying that we're on these evals all week, but it is what it is. And like I said, I'm the reason I'm in this position, and so I'm only going to get out of this position and get to where I want to be in the future by following my rules and my strategy, my trading plan. And the one thing that helps me with that thought process is just going back to my trading journal. I have 6 months of data, and I can look back and see these screenshots of these trades that actually play out if I'm aligned with the high time frame bias, and if I have enough confirmation, if I see everything that I need to see in price, my win rate is extremely high. And so I literally know that it's going to play out in the long run. It's just all about being a little bit patient, right? It might take an extra week, but that's just how it has to be, right? in a month's time span, in 2 months time span, I know that if I follow my rules every single day, I will have multiple payouts, and the return on investment on these accounts will be incredibly surpassed. But that I only get to that point, and it's literally proven and documented on this channel. You only get to that point if you follow your rules and do exactly what you need to do each and every day coming into the market. So that's enough yap. No trades for me. Um, just chopped today, and so we will see what kind of opportunity presents itself tomorrow, last day of the trading week, because it is a bank holiday for um, July 4th weekend on Friday. So that's all I got. Appreciate you watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.